Hello, and welcome back to Heaven in the Home. I'm your host, Miracle Semien, and this is the place where we grow in our identity in Christ, strengthen our marriage, and bring more heaven into the home. We are continuing our wisdom series, and we are in Proverbs chapter 8. And we're going to kind of talk about three different principles. The first one is the seek and find principle. The next one is guarding our mouth and making sure, we are in line when we speak. And the third one is the Bible tells us exactly how to be happy. So if you're in search of happiness or you want more happiness, the Bible tells us exactly how to get more happy. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. We are going to start off in, of course, Proverbs 8, and we're going to pick it up in verse 5. So it says, learn to be shrewd, you who are inexperienced. Develop common sense, you who are foolish. Well, first of all, shrewd means practical wisdom. Of course, we're in Proverbs and we've been talking about all things wisdom, the spiritual side, but this is like telling you straight up, we need to have practical wisdom and just common sense. And I'm always thinking about it in kind of three different buckets. First, you have marriage. So, can we communicate effectively? Seriously, I've been married for 10 years. I'm so glad I get to say that. I've been married for 10 years, and there is a right and wrong way to communicate. And just because you're married, you don't all of a sudden know how to communicate. You have to very much study different tools, methods, understand your partner, and then it's based off situations like, are they happy? Are they sad? Are we talking about the kids? Are we talking about financial things? There is a way to communicate, and it's so crazy. I remember getting married, and married couples will say, communication is everything, but no one ever taught me how, or even that I was communicating wrong. I thought I was good, but no, you have to go out there and learn effective ways to communicate to my partner. And you just can't say it like a cliche word. You have to go and get the wisdom, get the practical skills. You can do things like, or just another thing is like learning how to pick your battles. You do not have to win everything as a wife. You don't have to go in like, we know we're right, but you don't have to be like, I told you so, all of that. You have to tell yourself, like, is this something that's worth us arguing and not talking like blah, 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 blah. You can't just go in rah, rah, tit for tat all the time. And then understanding that y'all are a team. You are on the same team. And when you live together and you're married, marriage is like a mirror. So you're seeing the flaws, you're seeing everything in your partner, but that's not you to call everything out. You have to look at your partner as a gift. We've already talked about that. How do you look at your husband as he is a gift? And so even with kids, how to parent. The last episode, when we had to talk about the P word with my son, I went and got the knowledge. I went and I searched it and found it. So different things, getting the wherewithal to go find out. You need to be curious. That's just a good lesson in life. When you're at work, in your marriage, don't always assume something or feeling like be curious, ask questions, get to understand and know. So let's continue reading. Listen, for I speak of noble things, and what my lips say is right. For my mouth tells the truth, and wickedness is detestable to my lips. All the words from my mouth are righteous. None of them are deceptive or perverse. All of them are clear to the perceptive and right to those who discover knowledge. So let's do an inventory of this week. What would we rate ourselves? Better yet, what would Jesus rate your mouth? How would he rate your mouth for the last week or even the last month? If he was right there tallying up everything that came out of your mouth, what do you think Jesus would give you a grade? Did you speak righteousness? Did you speak life? Are you speaking life to them kids? Are you speaking life over your marriage, over your job? All of those situations, what is coming out righteous from your lips? And then also, to take it back to effective communication, verse 9, is it clear? Does a reasonable person understand what you're saying and then can retain the information and like teach somebody else? Are we even clear with our thoughts? Are we thinking before we talk, or we just say whatever comes to our mind? I have personally been working on this, of course, this podcast, but different ways to communicate before I'm talking to leadership or anything. Like, how can I succinctly communicate this thought to them where they can receive it and understand? I'm a bullet point girly. I started off this podcast with like, these are the things we're going to learn, these three things, and then weave it throughout the conversation and then wrap it up at the end. How can we learn or get the tools to speak effectively and righteous? All right, let's pick it up in verse 10. Accept my instructions instead of silver and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and nothing desirable can equal it. I, wisdom, share a home with shrewdness and have knowledge and discernment. So it is basically saying that wisdom is more valuable than gold. So we see in the Bible a pure example of this. God came to Solomon in a dream and said, ask me for whatever you want. Anything you want, you can have it. And Solomon asked for wisdom, and he was the richest man. The richest man. And so, if we seek wisdom, the ability to know what to do in certain situations, when people come to you with issues or problems, you're able to understand complex ideas and give people a solution and communicate it effectively where they can actually execute on what you're telling them to do. So wisdom is so much important than riches. And so we need to be able to understand it and seek it. Okay, so now let's read verse 13. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride, evil conduct, and perverse speech. We just talked about the 7 things that God hates in verse 6. Here we are again. God giving us a list. Arrogant pride. Whew. I work at a job with nothing but males, and the amount of arrogant pride that I have to deal with in HR is just unreal. And I absolutely hate it because it just breaks down communication. It breaks down understanding. You start treating people like they're not human. It is so crazy. And I'm over here like, y'all are operating in pride. You can do all this just because you're a manager and you want to like flex your muscles. And what's the point? Pride can just grow. I feel like it grows and attaches to people. It's just not a good look. So I agree. I do not like arrogant pride. Evil conduct, why? I feel like it takes so much time to be evil and then remember the evil. It's just crazy. And then we got to watch how we talk. Are we speaking with righteousness and kindness and love? So, yes. Let's go ahead and jump to 17. So 17 says, I love those who love me, and those who seek for me find me. That is the seek and find principle. I mean, we see it all the time. Whenever we want a new car and we decide we want this specific color or this type of car, then you start seeing it everywhere. And that's why it's so important. I know the world kind of wants to put a negative tone on manifesting, but the Bible this is an example that it's the word manifest. And I understand it can get very sticky very fast, right? You can manifest like, oh, I want this car, I want this house, and it's nothing but superficial things. But here is the key in verse 18. With me are riches and honor, lasting wealth and righteousness. And so the key to the seek and find, or manifesting, air quotes, biblical manifesting, is with God. Are we doing this without him just because our selfish wants? It clearly states in 18 that it should start with God. If you get a directive, if you are so in tune with God, your thoughts start to become his thoughts, and then you start to speak it, and then you start to see it, and then it's yours. So it's all aligned. I would rather have what God has for me, because that's where the riches and the honor and the lasting wealth, that's the key. My, this is it right here in verse 19. My fruit is better than solid gold, and my harvest than pure silver. I walk in the ways of righteousness along the path of justice, giving wealth as its inheritance to those who love me and filling their treasures. That's so good. I almost started crying. For those who love me. And it almost sounds so simple. All he's asking in return is for our love. Like, God just wants us to love him, seek him. He's not even telling us to understand all the X, Y, and Z. Just seek after him and love him. Come with a pure heart. And look, all the exchange rate is crazy. You just want me to love you, seek after you. I don't have to come perfect. I'll I'll clean you up along the way. I just want you to love me. And there's so many benefits to loving him. Sorry, got a little it got me. Okay, let's jump down to verse 32. And now, sons, listen to me. Those who keep my ways are happy. Listen to instructions and be wise. Don't ignore it. Anyone who listens to me is happy, watching at my doors every day, waiting for the post of the doorway. For the one who finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But the one who misses me harms himself. All who hate me love death. The alternative is not fun. It's not pretty. But if you follow his instructions, if you love him, if you listen to instructions, you are happy. So not only do I get all of these things with him, I also get to be happy along the way. And here's the deception that we think. This is the trick of the enemy. This is someone who was lukewarm, who was in them streets, and really believed that drinking and partying and doing all these things and being in the world was more funner. Like, this is fun. And in the moment of sin, literally in the moment, you think you're having fun, but as soon as it's over, it's gone. You got a hangover, you even said some crazy stuff, you didn't acted a plum fool, you're embarrassed. Embarrassment usually follows the sinful life. Crazy. And even when you're in it, sometimes you don't be having that much fun. You just trick yourself. It's like the pregame or the getting ready is more fun than actually doing X, Y, and Z. And that's the thing, the whole world, including me, will have you thinking this sinful life, do what you want, YOLO. I'm a millennial, so I grew up in the YOLO days, was the life. But it's a lie. I have a simpler life. Don't be going to the clubs, don't do all of that, but so much more pure happiness. So much more pure happiness. I don't have to worry about having a hangover. I don't have to worry about driving home drunk. I don't have to worry about acting a fool and somebody recording me. Following his instructions is happiness. When if people don't like me or if they're talking about me, I pray for them. In the old days, like people be ready to fight. What's going on? You care about just dumb stuff. So, Holy Spirit, you are right. It is happier following your instructions, following your guide, being a good person. And with you, you get the riches and lasting righteousness and faith come through. And then that marriage be on point, the kids be so many benefits. Okay. I just made myself happy. Okay, as we end this episode, I of course want to just thank you for joining me today. And my prayer is that you leave with a greater awareness of God's heart and a greater desire to walk in his wisdom. I showed you all the things that happen. So if this episode blessed you, please share it with a friend. You can leave a review, help your girl out so more women can discover this podcast. And if you're ready to grow deeper in your faith and identity and healing in marriage, I would love to invite you to the Heaven in the Home Collective. The link is in the show notes somewhere. But until next time, remember, when heaven fills your heart, it transforms your home. Thank you.